These plant brackets are an awesome Dollar Tree find. They've had them for years, so they are not new, but I do have some brand new ideas on how to use them today. Hi everyone and welcome. My name is Shannon from thedailydiywire.com and I'm so glad to have you here today. I will say Dollar Tree is the best place to buy these brackets, as recently I was at Walmart and found them for almost $7 each. So you're gonna get a much better bargain and deal shopping at Dollar Tree for only $1.25 there. I have some great new ideas to share with you. I'm gonna roll in some of my absolute favorite L bracket ideas from the past as well. So let's dive into this first idea. This first idea is great for your backyard. You're gonna need 5 of those brackets from Dollar Tree along with a 4x4 post. They come 8 foot long, but I cut mine in half, so it's 4 foot long, so I can get 2 of these out of 1 post. We're gonna start by adding the first bracket onto the top of this post. You just kind of sit your bracket in place, mark where those holes are, drill some pilot holes, and I also will link my drill down below. It is a beautiful Athena drill by my friend Natalie over at Design to the Nines. Check that out. And then we're gonna install this bracket with some wood screws, which luckily I was able to find at Dollar Tree while I was picking up my brackets. These brackets do come with their own screws, but they're more decorative. We want something a little bit more heavy duty and grab onto that wood for us. So a little tip here is let your bracket kind of fall to the side. That'll give you some room for your drill to be able to get in there and get those screws. Screw them halfway, and then once you're ready to tighten them all up, then you can put your bracket into place and kind of get into that weird little gap. So that was the top of this. As you can see, the bottom of this, we're adding 4 of those brackets too, giving this stand some feet, and just make sure that those brackets are level and flush with the bottom so we have a nice flat base. Then as you can see, now we have a nice display that we can use outdoors. You can use it for a lot of different things. I'm going to be using mine for a hanging basket here, but you could add a lantern to this. You could add some string lights if you made several of them. But I wanted to add one more tip. I did go ahead and add some smaller pavers to the back leg just to make sure it wasn't going to topple over forward, as my hanging basket is pretty large. I would suggest a smaller size hanging basket for this because mine was just kind of hefty, so it needed that extra support on the back. So I loved creating this DIY. It was so easy. It's also very affordable. You can make your own for about $12 each. I thought this next idea was so super smart and actually comes from one of you guys. I love reading all the comments, the tips and the tricks that you leave me down in the comments below. And this idea actually comes from Lori. So she said she's actually used these L brackets to help stand up some of her pictures. And I thought, what a great and easy idea that I had to share it with you guys. So you just take one of these L brackets and lean your photo up against it, your picture frame, your posters, your canvases, and it will stand it up for you. It turns it into a tabletop frame for you instead of a wall frame. And I love that if you want, you can use some hot glue or some type of adhesive, permanently attach it on there if you want, but if you want to make it removable, it just stands up on its own. So easy. So thank you so much to Lori for sharing this idea with us. And as always, leave those comments down below. I love to read your ideas. You inspire me too. Our next bracket idea is a wood hanging sign. Luckily, Dollar Tree is now carrying these awesome wood plaques, so pick your favorite. I decided to go with this one. We are going to then paint it. You could stain it, you could spray paint it, do what you want to it, make it look nice for your space. Went ahead, painted this one black on the back side, flipped it over, painted the front side just 1 coat each, and let that dry. We are going to be making a vinyl decal to add to the front of this. If you don't have a vinyl machine, then grab out your chalk markers or your paint pens, and you can also create your own design that way. If you don't have a machine, but you like this design, I will also have it available in my Etsy shop, which I'll show you here in just a second. But this design is so cute, so pretty. Fresh Flower Market, open daily. I'm just weeding out all of the things that I don't want, and then we are going to put some transfer tape on the top of this. Now if you do order this from my Etsy shop, this decal will come ready to go with the transfer sheet on top ready to go for you. All you have to do is take something hard, rub it across the front, and then peel the decal off with that transfer tape. Go ahead and position your decal onto your piece and then rub it with something hard again to transfer the design onto the sign, and then very slowly and gently remove that transfer tape from the top to reveal your decal. I really love the way the white pops against the black background. It kind of gives it that chalkboard finish. Again, I'll have that decal link down below for you, or you can use this design for inspiration to create your own decal, or use those paint pens to create your design on your sign. Now our L bracket is going to come into play. We're going to attach this sign onto the bracket using some of these thumbtacks that are also from Dollar Tree and some jute. So this jute I get from Walmart. It's only $5 for that big roll. Nice and thick jute, great for the outdoors. I'll link it down below for you. And we're going to take that jute, a length of that, and kind of place it onto the top. Using one of those thumbtacks, we're going to push that through the jute and kind of get it started, push it down into the wood on the top edge until it'll stay, and then you can take a hammer and just finish hammering in that thumbtack. We're going to do that on the left side, and then we're going to do that same and repeat that process on the right side. And then it's super simple to hang your sign from the L bracket with the help of that jute, just kind of putting one over and one underneath the bracket, tying a knot. And a tip here is to not tighten your knots all the way until you get your sign nice and level. Then tighten up your knots and then cut off any excess jute at the top. Go ahead and install your bracket and you have a nice, pretty hanging sign. And in this case, I put it on our back porch where my potting station is, where I keep some of my flowers and things. Really, really cute and pretty and an easy DIY. This is one of my favorite thrift flips. I found these shutters at the thrift store and they were only $2 each. So I just couldn't pass them up. So I'm going to be using one of these shutters for this DIY. So if you could take 1 second for me, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't yet, and hit your notification bell so you don't miss videos like this one. If you enjoyed these types of DIYs, you definitely want to subscribe and come back for more. So we're going to be using some reclaimed wood to pair with our reclaimed shutter. So this is some pallet wood. I just sanded it all down with some 80 grit sandpaper. Not only does it clean it up, but it also gets rid of all those splinters and imperfections. We're going to be using the L brackets from Dollar Tree for this, but unfortunately they only come with 2 holes on them and they are in the shorter side, and we are going to install this, so we need a couple more holes in these. So I'm going to show you an easy way to do that. I'm going to take a 2x4 here, put it through the bracket and kind of hold it down with my hand. A clamp works for this too. And we're going to make sure we have a metal drill bit in our drill so we can drill through that metal easily. So you can do 1 hole or 2 holes, up to you. I'm going to be using some adhesive for this as well, and there's going to be more holes in the top, so I didn't get too picky about it. This is how it's all going to get set up though. We're going to use the shutter as the background and the wood, the reclaimed wood, for the top shelf. So I'm using some hot glue to keep my bracket in place, and then coming in with a screw and screwing the bracket onto the front of the shutter. And then those holes that are already in the brackets, we're going to use those holes to screw up into the reclaimed wood shelf at the top. I decided to add some bonus display space and storage to this unit. We're going to add some cup hooks on here, so I just measured and found the center of the shutter length and then evenly measured off from the center to create 2 more holes, 1 on each side of the center, and then drilled some pilot holes to make it easier for us to twist these cup hooks in. So all you have to do is just twist them right into the holes, and then we added some more, like I said, storage and display space to this reclaimed shelf with the help of those Dollar Tree L brackets. Another option for this would be to suspend a dowel rod from those hooks at the bottom of the L brackets. That would give you even more additional storage and display space. If you have an old wood window or wood frame, this is a great way to add a shelf to it and make it even more functional. So we're going to use 2 of those L brackets from Dollar Tree, and then instead of installing them and adding holes to them like we did in the last project with the shutters, we're going to install these upside down, just like I'm showing you here, with the provided holes and screws that come with it. That way we can get a wider shelf, which is going to allow for more display space and more storage. So I'm just adding 1 of those L brackets, 1 on each side, and then we are going to add a shelf to this. But since mine is going to be outside, I did want to go ahead and seal this up. So I'm going to use some polyacrylic and a foam paintbrush, just add a couple coats to that, and it will seal up the wood and protect it for years to come. You can find polyacrylic at Walmart, very cheap, and I will make sure to link it down below for you to make it easier for you to find as well. We're going to install this shelf on this bracket, and instead of drilling more holes, we're just going to use some construction adhesive and put that on top of the brackets and lay the shelf down into the adhesive, press it down into place, and now our shelf isn't going anywhere. So another great thing about this setup is we still have those hooks on the end, so we're able to hang things from them. And as you can see, I just hung my gardening tools from there because this is my potting station out on our back porch. So I was able to add some more storage for some plants, overstock pots, and then obviously my gardening tools too. I had to throw this one in there too. This is a classic, but I like it, and you guys call me out on it, and I'll show you that here at the end in just a little bit. But let's get through this DIY first. I have these big old planters from Dollar Tree, some broomsticks from Dollar Tree, and also you're going to need some quick concrete mix. I'll link the kind that I use down in the description box below for you. Since we're working with concrete, safety is first. Gloves, glasses, and also a respirator. Highly recommend it. I didn't use it here, but you definitely want one. My husband got extremely sick working with concrete. Yes, it was outside, so it can get in your lungs, and you don't want that. So don't do what I'm doing, wear a respirator. So we're going to take some of that concrete mix and we are going to put it into our planter. Get as much in there as you want, maybe about halfway full, and then we're going to start mixing up our concrete with some water. As you're going to see here, I'm going to add a little bit of water, mix it up. We're going to add a little water at a time until we get the right consistency. Too much water is going to make it too runny, and we want that pancake batter consistency. Now we're going to add our broomstick down into the center of the planter, into that concrete. And as you saw earlier, I also removed the plastic top handle part of the broomstick. We're not going to need that, and you'll see why here in just a little bit. I'm using some painter's tape to help hold this broomstick upright until the concrete sets up. Now, this is the next day. Usually Quikrete doesn't take that long to set up, but I just went ahead and let this sit overnight, made sure it was good and dried and cured, and my broomstick was not going to fall over. Now in comes our L brackets from Dollar Tree. We're going to install this onto the broomstick and make little hooks and hangers for the outside. So I did take a drill and a drill bit and pre-drilled the holes into the broomstick before then using some screws to attach it. Now this is where you guys get me every time that I install these upside down. Totally get it, but I have a remedy for you, so hold on. We're also going to grab a dowel rod, one that is thicker, but it's not too thick that it's not going to slide down into the inside of our broomstick. That's going to give us some stability so our broomstick doesn't just topple over, and also it's going to give us some stability for our L bracket. So we're going to screw those screws into those pilot holes that we drilled and then into the wood dowel rod that's in the middle of our broomstick. It's going to grab on, it's going to bite down into that wood and hold our L brackets in place. So a lot of you said you installed them upside down. I totally agree. My plants kept flying off of here. But you can do two things. You can flip them right side up and install them the right way so the hooks are underneath, or you can take some pliers and pinch those loops at the end close so that you have a nice circle for your plants to hang into and they won't come flying off. Either way you do it, these look really, really nice. I added some decorative rock to the inside of there. You could even put flowers in there with some dirt, totally up to you, but a fun and affordable way to make some displays for the outside. Please hit that thumbs up button. Let me know down in the comments below which of these projects was your favorite, and I'll also have this decal and the link to my Etsy shop linked down in the description box below, so make sure to check that out, and I'll have more outdoor DIY ideas popping up on your screen. Go ahead, click one of those, and I will see you over there. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a creative day.